Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. In this Photoshop tutorial, you will learn how to create a simple birthday flyer either for yourself or for a friend. So without much talking, let's just begin. Okay, so to create a birthday flyer in Photoshop, the elements that we normally use, we use shape elements, we use text, we use images, sometimes we use texture and what pattern. Okay, so we'll go ahead and create a new document. And then here you can pick any size you want. So I'll stick with this size, 1005. I'll change this to birthday flyer. That's the name of my document. And then I'll leave the dimensions and everything the same. 1005 by 1005 is okay. So I'll create. And then now the next thing we are going to do is we're going to create a palette. Okay, we don't want to be going around looking for colors when we are working. Okay, so it's always good to use few colors whenever you are making what you're designing a flyer. Okay, don't use more than 5 colors. It won't look nice. Okay, so always use few colors. So I'll use just 3 colors. I think I like this cyan, so I'll just go with it. So I'll create a new layer and then 3 colors. Cyan always matches with what? Pink and violet. So I'll pick violet. Always use colors that match. Don't just mix the colors anyhow. Okay, cool. So I think I like this violet. Violet or purple. Yeah, I like it. And then I also use yellow. Looks like lemon yellow. Looks like this color. I don't know how it's called. Okay, so these are my 3 colors I'm going to use. Okay, so the next thing we are going to do is we're going to create a background, a gradient background. So I'll unlock my background and then rename it to what? Background BG. Good. And then I'll add a solid color. So basically I'll pick the violet as my base color, my background color, and then I'll also create what? Another gradient on top of the background. You can see I'm using what adjustment layers so that I can change it later. So I'll use gradient. I'll make here black, one side black, linear gradient, and then this side I think white. Okay, and then no, oops. Let me bring this back. Let me delete this. I don't need this, so that it'll be just one gradient. Okay, just black, and then this side is the opacity is not there. Okay, let me reduce the opacity of this to a little, the black a little. Okay, I think I like it this way. And then I'll change the angle for it to go to the side. Okay, this is good. Yeah, it's okay. The scale, yeah, I think it's good. I'll reduce the scale a bit. Okay, so this is my background, a very simple background. I can reduce the fill a little if I want. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is to bring my image, the image I'm going to use for the flyer. So let me show you the image I'm going to use. This is the image I'm going to use. Let me open it here for you. So with the purpose of time, I've already cut out the image. So if you don't know how to cut out this is the original image. Okay, this is a friend of mine. Her birthday is coming up. So if you don't know how to cut out background, there is a video up here. Check it out and then learn how to cut out image before maybe you come to learning how to make a flyer. Okay, so I'll just copy this. I'll copy this. Copy merge. Okay, and then I'll bring it here and paste it. Okay, so this is my subject. So I'm going to frame the subject So what I'll do is that I'll first pick the frame tool, and then I'll set it towards circle, okay, round frame, and then I'll hold shift to get what uniform square, and then I'll leave it. Okay, so you can see the subject has been framed. Okay, so let me show you. This is the subject. Okay, the subject is without background. That's why you can't see anything here. So always you can remove the background of your subject if you want. You can also leave it. Okay, so let me show you. This is the frame. You see the frame. Okay, so I think I'll enlarge the frame a little. Hold shift and then extend it. Make it bigger. Okay, I'll extend it further. Click on the frame, hold the shift, and then extend the frame. Okay, so I'll shift the frame up. Oops, to select it's disturbing me. Somewhere here. Okay, and let me reposition the image. The image is too big, so resize the image. Ctrl+T. Reduce the size of the image. Reduce the size of the image. Okay, so now I can reduce the size of the frame too, because I think it's too big. Hold shift when you are resizing. Okay, so let me leave this for now. Okay, it's not bad. Let me leave this for now. So the next thing I'll do is I'm going to create shapes to fill the background. Okay, shape element. So normally you can go with you can create as many shapes as you want and any shape you want, but it's always good to use few shapes. Don't use too many different shapes. Okay, so I'll go ahead and create round circle, right? So I'll pick the ellipse tool from here, and then I'll hold shift and then draw the ellipse shape. This is it. Okay, this size is okay. I can resize it later. So you can see it has select. Picked one color from my palette. It's okay. Let me leave it this way. And then I'll also create a triangle. I'm creating few different shapes. Okay, so a triangle. Select the polygon shape. Come up here and select change the size to 3. So that you get a triangle. Okay, so something like this. You can resize it later. And then this one I'm going to use stroke rather than fill. So I will not fill it. I'm using the stroking, and then the color should be white. White and black, they are neutral, so you can use them in together with other colors. Okay, they always match with every color. So don't be scared to use white. Okay, good. So something like this. Let me bring it down here. Okay, you can put it anywhere. And then I'll also create another circle, another round shape. Hold shift. Something like this. Yeah, this is cool. Okay, and then this one too, I'll use stroking. Okay, it has picked the stroking already. So let me reduce this a little. Not too small. Okay, and then you can organize your shapes here, rename them. Okay, cool. This is palette. Let me just call it palette so that you don't get confused when the layers become plenty. So I'll duplicate this circle. Ctrl+G to duplicate, and then this one will be an arc. So let me name it arc. I'm going to cut half of that. This one, okay, so that it will go around the first circle. So I'll push this here, and I'm going to cut half of it. Okay, so I'll create a layer mask on the arc, and then I'll pick my eraser set foreground and background colors to black and white. Press D to do that. And then let me increase the size. So I'll just be picking this side out. Okay, I just want to create something around for it to go around that this one. So I think something like this. I'm creating an arc. You see, I'm creating different what shapes, different shape elements. Okay, so I want to keep these two shapes together. Okay, so I'll group them. So I'll highlight this and that just like I did initially. Then I'll press Ctrl plus what? G to group them. And then I can rotate them, okay, so that anyhow I want I can do. Okay, later on you can rotate and do whatever you want with it. Okay, so this I'm gonna keep it here for now. So now I have how many shapes? I have 1, 2, 3 shapes. Okay, it's okay. It's okay. You can see I have 2 different shapes for now. Let's leave this for now. Okay, so now let's bring the subject's background. The subject's background. So what I'm going to do is I want to put the frame. I want the frame to have what? A color or background. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to select the frame, press Ctrl on the keyboard, and then click on what? The frame and thumbnail. You see the frame has been selected. Okay, so now what I'll do is I'll head down to the adjustment layer icon and then select a solid color, so that a solid color will be created from the area which has been selected. Okay, so click on our solid color. Good. And now you see what I was talking about. So the solid color has been created from the frame. Okay, so I'll maintain this color. This color. Good. And then drag it underneath the subject. Good. So you can see the subject is now in the frame. Okay, cool. So this ellipse, I think, okay, let's leave it for now. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to group the subject and then the frame together. Okay, so that if I move one, if I try to move the frame, let me show you. If I try to move this frame, see, it will go away from the subject, and I don't want that. So I want to keep them together. So I'll press Ctrl plus G. Now they are in a group. So if I select the group, I move both the subject and the frame together. Okay, cool. So I think I'll leave it somewhere here. Good. And then this, let me change this to different color because they are looking like it has combined. So let me change this to something like ash. Ash is also a shade of black and white, so you can use it. It doesn't add to the colors you are using. Okay, so and then I'll drag it underneath the subject. So this is subject. Let me rename the group to subject. Okay, cool. So now let's continue. And then this one is arc and circle, right? Arc and circle. So arc circle. Let me do something like this so that I find it easily. Okay, so I think I should position. I'll position this here. Yeah, it's too big. Ctrl plus T to resize it. Cool. And then I'm just putting the shapes, like I'm just putting them around. Okay, so just look at where you think it will look nice and then you put it there. Let me rotate it because in the one I showed you, the one, okay, so something like this. And then this one, the triangle, let me rename it to triangle. This is called organization, so that you find your layers easily. This triangle, let me just keep it somewhere here. Okay, so we are still going through the process. So the next thing I'm going to do is to add text. I'm going to add text. Okay, so First of all, when you are creating flyers, some people add dates. You can forget not to add dates. You can add dates. Some people add age. You can put her age somewhere. You can put her age in the circle. It will look nice. Okay. You can also put a little image in the circle, another image in the circle. Okay. So just be creative and then just try things out. Okay. However, it looks nice and then you go with it. So I also create test, right? I'm going to create test. So first of all, I'll create dates. I'll write the date up here. Okay, so now when you are using the fonts, that is test in flyers, always use a simple but cool font. Don't use too many fonts. Like if you use like 5 different fonts, it will be bad. It won't look nice. So use at least at a maximum of 4. Yeah, 4 will be okay. You can just use 2 fonts. You can use 1. Okay, and then don't use 2 different font style. What I mean by font style is maybe you use regular, then use italics, you use regular, like you mix the italics and then regular, bold. No, you can use some, but don't overuse it. Okay, so 24th, 24. Let me zoom in. Her birthday is on 24th September this month, so I'm just writing 24th Sept, okay, because I don't have space to write everything. And then I'll change the font to, let's say, this one. Yeah, this is the one I used earlier. So I'll change the font to this, okay. And then the size is too big, so let's reduce the size. This is not bad. This is not bad. I'll change the color later. So I also put what I write happy birthday here. So let me grab the text once again. Happy, just the happy alone. Let me change the font to this. Create, then whic. This one. Okay, so this is my happy. Let me increase the size a little. Okay, let me take this for now, and then the birthday. Change the font to. I'm using only what 3 different fonts. So I've used the font which I use for the date. Same fonts. Okay, and then. Cool. So now let me rearrange it. It's small. Increase it. Ctrl+T to resize. Increase the size. Okay. Increase the size. Increase the size. Okay. Don't let your text touch the frame. Okay. And then let me enable to select once again. Let me increase this to a little. Okay, so gradually we are going. Now, this triangle, I can position it somewhere here. It's too big. Reduce it a little. Okay, so somewhere here. Now let's look at what else can we do. So when you are working like this, you keep looking at places where you have space, and then you imagine what you can put over there. Okay, so you can see we have space here, so we can write something here, right? We can also push this down. Okay, you can push this down, and then we don't have any space, but we still have some space here. So I would like to write something underneath the birthday. So let me push this up, and then let me write something here. You can write your age here as well. So I'll just write something like a wishing you all the best. That's what I did in life. Okay, so the size is big. Reduce the size. Still big. And then I'll put it somewhere here. Okay, so look at what I've done. I've used Still, I'm using how many fonts? Still with what? 2 fonts. I've used only two different fonts. Okay, only 2 different fonts. So I can change this font, okay, so that maybe I'll have 3 different fonts, or I can just leave it. Okay, so let's see if maybe we will change it. I use some font sometime. Okay, this font. Here's what I use. So 3 different fonts. Right. Cool. And then bring it down a little. Okay, so you can see we are still going, and this should be here. Now let's look at we want to create balance. Okay, so this, since there is a shape here, I'm going to create another shape here. Okay, I'm going to create another shape here because I have some space, a little space here. I can put something over there. So I think I use lines. I can create lines over there so that we have, more shapes coming in. So like 2 lines also. It's okay. Something like this. Yeah. And yeah. Let me just leave it. And then over here too, I have space. I can do something here. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create dots. Okay. We are using what? The elements of what? Design. Like we are using them. Like we are mixing them up. So these are dots. Let me name the layer to dots. I've created a new layer for that. Always work with what new layer so that you can have control over it. So okay, let me just go with this color. Reduce the size. Okay, so little dots. Trying to create some dots. Step back. Okay, so and then here's the middle, right? Here. You can do this like random, anything you want to do. Step back, and then I did something like this, I think. So yeah, and then here we can fill. Each one will have what is corresponding. Right. No, this is not straight here. Okay, and then this one will have its corresponding. I'm trying to create something like harmony. Okay, good. So yeah, something like this. It's a shape which has been created from what? Many dots. These ones were not straight. Let me complete them. Yeah, it's okay. And then what I'll do next, we have 1, 2 here, which I didn't. This one should have corresponding. And then I can erase this. And then position it properly. Yeah, I think this is okay. So you can see it's looking nice, right? Yeah. Now let's work with let's use our palette. So you can see we've used most of the colors. We are left with what? The cyan. Cyan has not been used yet. So I think I'll use the cyan for the birthday and then for the date, so that I'll have what balance top in this corner, and then in this corner we have what cyans. Okay. So I'll go back to the date. Go to blend option. This is where I'm going to apply the color. I want to apply the cyan, and then it will look like the yellow is what reflecting on the cyan. So click on gradient. Oh, I did this already. Okay. So you come here, click this, pick your color, cyan, and then here you're gonna pick what this yellow. Okay, but a little dark, a little here this way. So something like this, and then I'll increase the opacity a little. Good. So don't worry much about the colors you're using now. You can change all the colors later. Okay, you can change the colors. Like, I'll show you a quick way you can change all the colors at the end. When you are done, you change all the colors, and then your image, your flyer will pop. Okay, so I like it this way. Okay, let's zoom in and see. Yeah, it's not bad. The yellow is not really showing, so let me go back. Gradient overlay. The yellow is not really showing. Let me increase the opacity once again, and then bring this back. Good. So it's not showing, right. Let me go back to the opacity. Reduce the opacity. Okay, something like this is cool. Yeah, something like this is cool. Something like this is cool. Okay. So I'll then come to the birthday, right? The birthday. I'll do the same thing to the birthday. So blend options. Right click and go to blend options. And then gradient overlay. So it's going to select it automatically. And then I'll reverse or invert it. So I don't have to work it. So you see we are gradually it's becoming nice, right? So if I hide my palette, this is what we have. This is where we've got. Okay, this is a very simple flyer. You can just create the shapes, put them wherever you want, and then you move them around. Okay, so now I made here yellow because I want to place emphasis on hair. Okay, so if you have quality image, you have image with higher resolution, always make it bigger so that the emphasis will be on the person. If your image has lower resolution, make it smaller, and then place emphasis on the text and other elements. Understand? Yeah. So now let me break this one into two colors, the dots. So I'll duplicate it, Ctrl+G, and then I'll create a layer mask on it, and then I'll grab my eraser. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to erase these ones, okay, from 1 because they are now 2. So I'll clean this top here. Okay, so now I have to let me show you. So this is now what we have. We have this, and then we have we have the full. Okay, so I also create a mask on this one. Use the eraser and then clean this. Okay, so I could have made the dots separately on different layers. I didn't do it, so that's why I'm doing this. So I have this, then I have this. Okay, so let me change the color of the down one to, let's say, black. Ctrl+U, bring out hue and saturation, and then desaturate it. No, I'm trying to change. No, I picked the wrong one. So let me bring this one down. Ctrl+U here. Bring hue and saturation. Desaturate it and then darken it so that it will be black. Okay, I can colorize it and make it something like this color, the color of the background. Okay, yeah. Make it darker. Something like this is okay. Yeah, I like it this way. And then I'll reduce the fill or opacity so that it will hide. Okay, something like this. Okay, and then these ones there, I don't want to use this color, so I'm going to change the color of this. I'm not going to change the color entirely. I'm just going to use a different shade of yellow. Okay, so I'll just increase here, and then keep watching. You see if it will start changing. I want to make it a little like yellow, like not into the greens, into what? Red. Adding some red to it. Something like this. Yeah, it's good, right? Yeah, it's not bad. Can you increase it? Yeah, so yeah, something like this is okay. So you can see I'm still on using how many? 3 colors. This is part of what? It's a shade of yellow, so we don't count as a different color. Yeah, I don't count as a different color. I don't know if other people count. So basically, I'm done. Okay, we are done. It's very simple. So now, what you can do to make it what look more professional or look more nice is what you add what an image. You hide an image in the background. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. I have an image which I downloaded from freepik.com. Let me bring it. So this is it. Let me show you this image. Okay, so I'm going to. It's a birthday what image. I searched for birthday what backgrounds, and then it led me to Freepik, and then I downloaded this image. Okay, so the link is in the description. If you want to download this image, you'll get it over there. So I'm going to hide this in the background. So let me bring it down to where the background is. Okay, now I'll reduce what the opacity, the fill or opacity, any of them. Fill and opacity, they are not the same. Fill works with only the color. Opacity affects the color and then the brightness and everything. But fill only what affects color. So I'll reduce the color a little. It looks like this, but you can see the image was having some colors which are showing, and I don't want to have these colors in my flyer because I think it's making it look like it's bringing a lot of colors in. I don't want it, so I'm going to desaturate this image. Okay, so I'll use adjustment layer so that later I can revert it. Okay, so I click on the adjustment layer icon and then select what hue or saturation, and then we are going to use it as a clipping mask to what only the image we brought. Okay, we don't want the hue or saturation to affect the background. We don't want this now, so we will clip it to the background. So Control Alt G, and now it has been clipped to what? This one. It has been clipped to the image. Sorry, not the background, the image. Okay, I'm going to use this like a pattern or something like that in the background. It will hide in the background. Cool. So I will desaturate it, put the saturation down, and then darken it a little. Okay, I think this is good. It's okay. And then now I can bring it up a little to make it show. Not much, little. Okay, so now this is what we have, right? It's looking nice. And now this ash, I think it's looking, it's out. So let me hide that one too a little. Hide it a little like this. So, yeah. Nice. Now I think everything looks good, right? Yeah, everything looks good. So basically, that's how you do it. These lines, you can break these lines if you want. You can leave it if you want. So let me just go ahead and break the lines. Good. So I'll create a layer mask on this, and then grab my eraser, reduce the size of the brush. I'll just break it. Okay, break it anyhow. Okay, so we are done. Yeah, we are done. So the next thing you can do, I said in the beginning that I'll show you a tip which you can use to change the color and then make it pop easily. Okay, so now we are going to group some of these layers. Okay, I can still keep my palette here. It will look nice because it's part of what the colors I'm using. So I can bring my palette, I can keep my palette here. It will still look nice, right? I have a little space. I can keep my palette here. I can even keep it here. It will look nice because I have space. Okay, so I'm going to show you what you would do to make it like change the colors easily and make it pop. Okay, so now we are going to group our layers. Where is the subject? This is the subject, right? I'll bring the subject all the way up. Okay, because what I'm going to do, I don't want it to affect the subject. I don't want to change the color of the subject. Okay, so now, and then I think this triangle has gone down. Let me bring it up, because I want that one to be on top. Cool. So I'm going to create a hue or saturation or adjustment layer on top of all the layers except the subject and the triangle. Okay, I'm not going to clip it because I want it to affect everything, then change the color of the whole wig. Then I'll start pushing the hue. Okay, you can see what is happening. The colors will change and then it will look nice because the colors, they relate with each other. So as you change, this one changes, the other one also changes, and it will always look good. Most times you can see the frame is not changing because the frame is inside the subject. If you want the frame to change, you have to pick out the frame. Let me show you. Pick this out and then put it outside. Okay, so if you put it outside like this, it will also begin to change. Let me show you. Yeah, now you see it will be changing. You see, this looks nice. Yeah, and it always look good. Okay, so you can change the colors here easily when you are done and you think you want to change the colors or something. Okay, so I think maybe I like this. So I will just leave it this way. Okay, so guys, this is where we end the video. If you like this tutorial, make sure you give a thumbs up and then leave a comment down below. If there's anything you didn't understand, leave a comment down below. I'll try to explain it further to you. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel because this channel is dedicated to beginners. Every video I'm uploading is for beginners. So subscribe and then click the notification bell so that you don't miss out on new tutorials. We'll meet again very soon. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.